Hi everyone, this is Sunny from Database Tech. So today I had come up with one more new session on SQL Server Database. In today's session, I will explain some of the commonly used data types in SQL Server that are char, varchar, nvarchar, and nchar. So let's understand them one by one, starting with char data type. So what is char data type? It is a fixed length non-Unicode characters. Now, what does that mean? Let's understand this in SQL Server practically. So this is SQL Server. And now, to understand the fixed length and the char data type, let's declare some variable. So how to declare a variable? What is the syntax? Have to write down declare at the rate first name, which is our variable. You can give any name here. I am using here first name. Okay. And then we have to define the data type for this variable, which will be char, and initialize some memory, and then you can assign some value to this variable. Let's assign Sunny. So our declaration part is complete. We had declared a variable as first name, defined the data type as char for this variable, and initialized some memory of 5 characters and assigned a value as Sunny. Now when we execute this, command completed successfully, but we cannot see any output. So how to get the output? You have to use select for that, our variable name. And now when you execute them together, you will get the output as below. If you change the value, you get the same thing in the output as below. Okay. So by this way, we can declare a variable, we can define the data type, and we can assign value, and then we can print that output using select statement. Now this is clear. Now we have to understood what is fixed length. So let's understand that. Now here if you notice one thing, we had initialized a memory of 5 characters. Now what does that mean? It means this variable can hold only 5 characters. If you assign more than that, it will not get that. You will not able to, this variable will not be able to hold that. Let's see how. 3, 4, 5. So for now, it will get everything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the characters. But now, when we make it like 6, 7, 8, we are exceeding the limit. And then, if we execute this again, you will still get 5 characters. Because we had initialized a memory of 5 characters only. If you need everything here, then you have to make this 8. So once you initialize a memory of 8 characters, you will get this. Now you will get everything which you are assigning. Now if we make it 100, okay, so we are initializing a memory of 100 characters. And how much characters we are using? We are using only 8. Now when we execute this, we get everything, but what about the remaining memory that we had initialized? Now this variable can hold 100 characters, and but we are using only 8 characters. What about the remaining memory? That gets wasted in char data type. Okay, let's see how. To calculate this memory, we had one function which is select data length. If we use this and provide the variable name as memory length, so this will give us the memory utilization. So you can see the memory utilization is 100 and we are using only 8. For this also we can use to calculate the length of this string. For that we had one function which is length. Length first name as length of variable. Okay, now let's execute them again. I'm showing you this so that you can understand this in a better way. Okay, so let's drag it to the top. Okay, you can see this is the value. The length of variable, which is this one, that this is the variable, is 8. So we are using only 8 characters, but we had initialized a memory of 100 characters. So remaining memory is getting wasted. So which means in char data type, if we had once initialized the memory, okay, it will take all the memory. It doesn't matter how much value, how much characters you are passing to that variable, it will take all the memory. So with this data type, our memory is getting wasted. Okay, so it's the best practice to use char data type only when you are aware of the variable. Now let me give you one example. So if you have to store like a male or female, so if you have to store, because see, a person can be either a male or a female. Okay, and this, which means we only have 4 characters always. We have 4 characters only to store in the string. Or for female we have 1 2 3 4 5 6, we have 6 characters only to store this value. It will neither increase, it will neither decrease. So in this case you can use the char data type when you are aware how much characters will be there in the string, or for yes or no. If you have to store values like this, you can use char data type. Otherwise, the memory will get wasted, which is not a good practice. So which can decrease the performance. Okay. So that's why we said like char is a fixed length data type, because once we initialize the memory here, it will take all the memory. It doesn't matter how much value you are passing. Either it will be of a single character. If you still provide one, still it will take all the memory. Okay, you can see here it's taking 100 characters, and although we are using only one character. So that was char data type. And with this, it's also saying the maximum length is 8000 characters. Now, what does this mean? Let's understand this also. So if we make this 8000, now when we execute this, you can see it's 1, the length of is 1, and the memory length is 8000. It's taking 8000 characters. Now this variable can hold 8000 characters and it's taking all the memory. Now when we make it 8001, does this work? No. Why? Because this char data type, which is a fixed length data type, can hold the maximum limit is only 8000 characters. So it will not work. Okay. So you should remember this thing, should keep this thing in mind, that this char data type can hold only 8000 characters. If you give more than that, it will throw error. Now moving to next data type, which is char varchar. It's a variable length non-Unicode characters. Now what does that mean, variable length? Let's understand this. Now make this varchar. Okay, and here we are using 2 3 4 5, and we are using 8000 here. In char, you can see that it was memory length was 8000 characters when we were providing them initializing a memory of 8000 characters. Now let's see what we will get in varchar. So you have seen this in memory length we had only 5 characters, and the length of variable is also 5 characters, and this is our value 1 2 3 4 5. So in varchar it doesn't matter. Although we had initialized a memory of 8000 characters, but still it has used only 5 characters. The value that we are passing, that we are storing in this variable. So that's why we said like this is the varchar is a variable length. Okay. So it will not take all the memory. The memory gets capitalized. It gets it's not getting wasted here, which was happening in char, because that was fixed length. Once we initialize that, it was getting all used, but here it's not getting, everything is not getting used. It's taking only that much of memory that we are using. Okay, so for this also, for varchar also, the maximum limit is 8000 character. If we give more than that, it will not work. Okay, so it will not work. And when we make it 8000 again, it's giving us the output. So most of the times it is better to use varchar, because memory is not getting wasted here. It's taking only that much of memory which it is using. So it's best practice to use varchar when you are not aware that how much characters the user is going to give. Okay, and it is a variable length. So that's why we said like it is a variable length, because the memory gets varied. Now coming to next data type, which is nvarchar. The maximum length here is 4000 characters, and it is also the variable length. Now you have understood like what is variable length. In variable length, it will not take all the memory. Now let's make it nvarchar. For nvarchar also, it is same, but here it's not 8000 because the maximum length is 4000 characters. So you have to give it 4000 characters. Okay, so 4000 is the limit. If you give more than that, it will throw error. Now let's check this. So you can see it's more than that and it is giving us error. So you have to keep this thing in mind that nvarchar can hold only 4000 characters. Now for nvarchar, then when to use nvarchar mostly? See, when you are using in a project where you have to store some different characters like other from other language like Japanese, if you have to store the Japanese context, if you have to store some other British context or some other Chinese, at that time mostly we use nvarchar. Okay, because nvarchar only hold that characters. And one more thing, this nvarchar for one character is taking 2 bytes. Okay, see, if we use store like one character, so for nvarchar storing, it's using 2 bytes to store one character. Now when we execute this, you can see in memory length it is 2 bytes, and if we store one more, then it will take 4 bytes. And this is another thing you should keep in mind, that if you are using nvarchar data type, it is taking 2 bytes to store a single letter, to single character, and the maximum limit is 4000 characters. And we can use nvarchar when we are, you can use that, doesn't matter, but if you have to hold like some other language characters, so you can use nvarchar at that time. Other data types cannot hold that. This feature is only with this data type, and this is a variable length. No matter you had used here 4000, but in the memory length you can see it's taking only 4 bytes. Okay, because it is a variable length. Now moving to next, which is nchar. Nchar is same like char. It is also the fixed length. So let's see nchar. Now the nchar will take all the memory, which is we had initialized 4000, so it will take 8000 because it's used 2 bytes to store one character. So here you can see it's taking everything, so which is 8000 bytes, because 4000 makes the double is 8000 bytes. The length of variable is 2, it's taking everything. If you use like 1000, the memory initialize it will be 2000 bytes. No matter we are storing only 2 letters which should be 4 bytes, but it is taking all the memory because it is a fixed length non-Unicode character, Unicode character. Okay, so that was the data types for you and the difference between them, and you have understood like what is fixed and the variable. Fixed length is once you initialize it will take all the memory, and variable means it will not take all the memory, it will take only that much memory which it is using. Okay, and we had also understood the maximum limits for char, for varchar, and nvarchar and nchar. So that was it for today's session. I hope you have understood it, and in case not, you can provide your comments so that I can reply back. And if you liked today's session, you can subscribe my channel so that I can post more videos on same. With this, let us wrap up the session for today. We'll come up with the next session shortly. Till then, have a nice day. Bye bye. Take care. Be healthy and be safe.